Okay, so in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how you can initialize and set up your MERN stack project using this MERN stack initialization prompt that will be available on my Patreon. So we're gonna set up and initialize our MERN stack project using AI in Google Anti-Gravity, and we're also gonna set up Clerk. So let's get started. Now, because it is using the initialization prompt for MERN it is basically asking us a few questions. So it'll ask us questions like where do we want to set up the project, which thing we want to use for authentication, which thing we want to use for state management, and what color we want to use for SHA-CN. And according to what you would like to use, you just tell it using a prompt according to what you want. And we're going to specify in the current directory, and we want to use Cleric, and we want to use Redux, and we want to use Stone for the SHA-CN color. So we're just going to submit this prompt, and I'll let it finish and come back. Now, because we're using the initialization prompt, it's first going to look online to see if it is using the latest commands or not, and then it's going to execute those commands accordingly to what is available. And now it's asking me to accept to run this command. And what is happening in this command, it's basically just going to install Vite and React with TypeScript. Next, it's asking me to confirm whether I want to install all of these things like Axios, Tailwind CSS, Motion, etc. And I'm going to accept this. And it's also telling me that it's going to run the npm install types node to make sure that it has all of the TypeScript types for these packages. Now it's asking me to confirm if I want to install SHA-CN and initialize it. I'm going to choose accept. And now it's asking me to accept this, which is going to select the stone color in the terminal. And now it's asking me to accept this, which is basically going to create the files and folders inside of the client folder related to hooks, layouts, components, etc. according to our app. So I'm going to accept this. And now, as you can see, all of the files and folders have been created according to our project initialization. And we can change and update these according to the things we will add in the project. And now it's asking me to accept this, which will create the server folder, and all of the backend code will be added there for the MERN stack, Express, and everything else that is necessary for the backend server to be able to communicate with the front end. And now it's asking me to let it install all of these things that will be necessary for the backend. So I'm going to accept. And we can change any of these later on according to what we might need or not need. Okay, so now it's telling me that it wants me to accept letting it install the files and folders inside of the server folder that will be necessary for our backend, like the routes, modules, controllers, etc. So I'm just going to accept and let it do its thing. And now, as you can see, it has done the initial setup. It has created the files and folders according to what we might need in the backend, and we can adjust and create other things on top of this accordingly, or even remove them depending on what our project requirements might be in the future or right now. Okay, so it is done with all of the setup, and now what we're going to do is look at the code. So let's go into the index.js file. And right now, I can see that it has done a initial setup. We can see that we have course and express.json, and we're even getting a get, which is basically going to be if we end up doing a get request, we can communicate with the backend, and we're listening on the port 4000. So let's check our .env file, and yes, we are listening on the port 4000, and we can set up everything here, which is our database URL, our Cleric secret keys and all of that. So I think this is fine. I'm going to accept all of this. So I think I'm going to change this a little bit. I'm going to tell it to make sure that the Clerk setup is going to be on the front end, not the back end, because I don't really see much of a point in adding this on the back end when we can do all of this on the front end. So I'm just going to prompt it to change all of that. So I'm just going to tell it to add all of the Cleric setup on the front end. So I'm just going to tell it to do all of the Cleric setup on the front end and remove it from the back end. That's it. Now that that's done, what we're going to do is go into our Cleric, go into config API keys, and we're going to look at the API key that we have. We're going to copy it. We're going to go back into our application, and you can see that the application is running. So what we're going to do, I'm first going to accept this because actually it's still generating it. So now it's done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste the Cleric key here so that we can communicate with Cleric, and that's it. Everything should have been set up accordingly, and if we need to change anything, we can change it accordingly, and we'll remove all of the Cleric setup logic in our .env file on our backend. Yeah, okay, so that's done, and let's move on to the next step. So next, we're going to set up MongoDB, and I'm going to be using MongoDB Compass. You can easily get this from the MongoDB website, and this is like a local database for MongoDB that you can use on your computer if you do not know what MongoDB Compass is. So I'm going to set up a new connection, and this is going to be the default connection for your local MongoDB Compass. Okay, and you need to fill out these forms according to what you have, according to what you're trying to set up. So I'm just going to fill this out, and then I'm just going to save this and connect. And if nothing goes wrong, it will connect. And as you can see, we have connected successfully to our MongoDB Compass, and you can see all of these data tables and such. So that means it worked. So now that we ended up connecting successfully to our MongoDB, I ended up disconnecting, and what we need to do is get this connection string. So what I'm going to do is just copy this, and I'm going to go back into my application, and on the back end I'm just going to paste this in. So this will then connect to your MongoDB Compass, and as you can see, the AI is basically telling me to give it a name. So what this is basically doing is when we connect to our MongoDB, it will create a separate collection which will then be called something. We'll just go with the name that the AI gave us. So we're going to use that. And when we connect, what will happen is it will automatically create this collection for us. And you can name it whatever you want. Okay, so now we need to open up the terminal, but we're not going to do it like this. What we're going to do is go to each of these folders, and we're going to right click. And when we right click, we have an option to open the terminal for that specific folder. So we're going to select that, and then we're going to open up the terminal for each of these folders. And then because we're already in the folder route, we're going to basically just start the server for each of these on separate terminals like this. Now it did not install node1 for some reason, so we're going to manually just install that. It's a simple command npm I node1, and then we just need to set it up in our package.json so that when we do npm run dev or run start, whichever you prefer, we're gonna then be using nodemon. Okay. And as you can see, our project has started up without any errors. So we've done the initial setup to get started on the rest of the project so that we can build up on top of this. So I hope you like this tutorial. Like and subscribe to stay updated on the latest tutorials, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.